Kid goes in, and they're all set now for the first on Cup Day at Bendigo. The favourite is Candid Man, and they're ready. Starter on his platform, and they're all set for a start. Line looks pretty good now. Lights on, all set for a start. They're racing. Effigy is last. Tiki Tamu is second last, and away quickly is Nicolo Springs with Cayenne. Cornhill on the inside is showing early speed, and Express Kid out wide may head them all off in a stride. Adelaide Street is just in behind them as they settle down inside the 1,200-metre corner. A break of 2 lengths to Raging Force, followed by Unspeakable. A length away Koala Con, followed by Alona. Just in behind them, He's a Prospect, followed by Candid Man on the outside, drifting back for the field. Going past it in turn now on the outside is Ragazino, followed by King Video Effigy, and Tiki Tamu's about 4 lengths away. About 15 lengths had covered the field at the 750. Nicolo Springs a half in front of Express Kid on the outside. Cayenne's in the box seat third, about 2 lengths away, followed by Adelaide Street 2.5 away. Unspeakable 2.5 away, followed by Raging Force. A length away Alona, followed by Cornhill. Pull to the outside Ragazino, followed by Koala Con. Then King Video, He's a Prospect, followed by Effigy. Candid Man, the favourite, is second last around the turn, about 12 off the lead, and Tiki Tamu some 4 lengths away. In the straight at the 300, Nicolo Springs being tackled by Express Kid on the outside. Cayenne's 2 lengths away now, closing on the pair, and 2 lengths away Alona, followed by Effigy from well back, making ground at the 150-metre mark, and Cayenne race to the lead now. Raging Force coming out of the pack into second placing. Cayenne clear though, perfectly ridden by Patrick Payne. Cayenne clear, and Cayenne is too good. Cayenne wins by 2 to Raging Force. Effigy third, then King Video, Unspeakable, Adelaide Street, Alona, Candid Man never in the race, followed by He's a Prospect, Express Kid, then Koala Con, followed by Ragazino. Well back in the race as they go out of view now was Alona pulling up quickly, followed by Tiki Tamu, then Unspeakable, followed by Cornhill, and one of the last in was Koala Con.
Number 9, Cayenne, $8.80 and $2.70. 14, Raging Force, $3.60, and 6, Effigy, $3.20.
Number 9, Cayenne to return 9.10 and 2.80 on the Super Tab. Number 14, Raging Force, 3.80. 6, Effigy, 3.30.
The inside runner, Villa Rondini, and Seductive Bell standing in well as Homeland comes along to complete the line. Zip standing up well. So as soon as Homeland comes in, they'll be ready to go. Homeland coming up. All set. Ready for a start. Race number 2 on a perfect day here on Bendigo Cup Day for 1995. The lights on. All ready, and away they go to a good start too, and getting out fastly on the outside was the Golden Express showing early pace, and up there also is Victorian Invasion, who got out pretty well, and Just Gold was away quickly towards the inside. Air Classic is going very fast along the inside, being followed by Villa Rondini, and just in behind them is Play About Her. A bit further back in the field is Yellow Warrior Queen, and back behind them then came further back in the field Lucky Ace. A length and a half, Remember Jean. Well back is Zips, and Seductive Bell is last of all. As they come up towards the home 10, a good tussle for the lead here. Victorian Invasion just in advance here of Golden Express as they swing for home there, followed by Air Classic over on the outside. Just Gold is starting to come into the race, being followed then by Play About Her. A long gap further back is Villa Rondini, and back behind them Lucky Acer, and Seductive Bell's a mile back as they come to the 200. Just Gold has quickly dashed to the lead, and Just Gold is clear now, coming down the outside, but racing greenly is Play About Her. Just Gold was the leader with 100 metres left to go. Play About down the outside is trying to get the Just Gold, who's still in front. Just Gold is going to hold on and win by 3/4 of a length. Play About Her. Lucky Ace the third, Remember Jean, Seductive Bell back behind them. They're followed by Zips, and further back in the field Air Classic, and towards the tail of the field is a Golden Express, who's finished a long way back.
Number 2, Just Gold, $4, 160, 7, Play About, 270, and 3, Lucky Acer, 360.
Super Tab 2, Just Gold, 390, 170, 7, Play About, 190, 3, Lucky Acer, 410.
And a couple of minutes ago, the old boy who won his first race here at Bendigo looked an absolute treat. Now they're all set. Starter moving around, and they're all ready to go in the 10 Victoria hurdle, and they're off and racing. And missing it about 2 lengths, Karam Dahar. Winning the start, Pompeii Air and Turf Tavern going quickly, and Century Review through the centre. He's going to lead them into the first jump, and they go over it, all over it safely. And Century Review goes to the lead. Around the outside now is Turf Tavern, and right around the outside now, Karam Dahar, who missed the start, is going to the front. Karam Dahar goes to the lead, 2 lengths now, Century Review. A half back on the outside, Turf Tavern, then Pompeii Air. Flirting Lad was next from Lennox Castle. Clinker Bell back second last, and Lord Zapper at the tail. Down the side, they come to the second. Karam Dahar is about to go over it, and over it he goes. He landed about a neck in front of Turf Tavern the outside. They're matching motors at the moment. 1.5 third Century Review, followed by Pompey Air on the inside. Then Flirting Lad, followed by Lennox Castle. Second last Clinker Bell and Lord Zapper at the tail. They come down the straight. They'll have 2 to jump in this lane. And Karam Dahar, after missing the start, has gone to the lead, and he leads by a length now. He cleared out from Turf Tavern as they come to the next. Running third over on the inside is Pompey Air. They all got over that one. Next was Century Review, followed by Lennox Castle, who's pulling. He's got his head up in the air. Up on the outside and a little bit deep now as they come down the straight is Flirting Lad from Clinkerbell, second last. And last of all is Lord Zapper, who had a bit of a stumble at that one as they come past the judge with a lap to go. And Karam Dahar leads them past the judge, a length on Turf Tavern. Running third, Pompey Air on the inside. Lennox Castle making up his ground from Century Review. Then Clinkerbell, who's back down on the rails and only has 2 behind him. They are Flirting Lad and Lord Zapper. Into the back they go. And still Karam Dahar, the front runner. He's out by a length on the grey Turf Tavern, who's stuck with him all the way. Pompey Air, nice and cosy, third on the inside as they go over the next. Turf Tavern didn't jump that one at all well, and he's dropped back. He lost about a length and a half as Karam Dahar leads down the back from Pompey Air. Lennox Castle getting going with Turf Tavern on the outside, then Pompey Air from Clinkerbell. Further back, Century Review out deeper on the track, then Flirting Lad and Lord Zapper still last of all. Karam Dahar takes them to the next, and they're all over it again. And Karam Dahar tackled in earnest by Turf Tavern the grey. He won't go away. He's pressured him all the way. He didn't jump a hurdle too well a couple back, but he's going better now. And over it he goes again, Turf Tavern the grey, to now edge Karam Dahar. Pompey has had the perfect run, and Clinkerbell's making up his ground with Lennox Castle. Further back then came Lord Zapper, who's making up his ground as well. Further back then Flirting Lad and Century Review. Down the side, they'll come to the next one in a moment, and the great Turf Tavern. He's about ahead, Karam Dahar. Here's Lennox Castle, 3 wide. Lord Zapper looming ominously. Behind those, Pompey Air, then came Clinkerbell. One's down. One lost the rider, Pompey Air's down, and as they come to the turn, in front the great Turf Tavern, tackled by Lennox Castle. 1.5, Karam Dahar. Here's Lord Zapper. He's running into it, followed by Clinkerbell, who's just off their heels, and the other 2 are a minute back, and they are Flirting Lad and also Century Review. There's plenty of chances. 2 to get over. Going to the lead, Lord Zapper, and he jumps it now. He's over it. Lennox Castle came back at him, and the grey is still there, Turf Tavern, but Lord Zapper went for home. Inside the 200, Lord Zapper, 1.5, Turf Tavern, Lennox Castle, Clinkerbell. He jumped that gingerly, but he got over it, and here's Clinkerbell down the outside. He's coming after it. He lunges on the line, and Clinkerbell won the hurdle. Clinkerbell got up and beat Lord Zapper, who really walked to the line. Third, Lennox Castle, then Turf Tavern, Karam Dahar weakened, then Century Review, Flirting Lad, and the riderless Pompey Air is coming down the straight now. The horse is okay, and the ambulance is over there, and the rider is okay as well.
Clinkerbell, number 2, 190, 110, 11 Lord Zapper, 390, and number 9, Lennox Castle, 430.
2 Clinkerbell, 2 even, $1.20. Number 11 Lord Zapper, 330, and number 9 Lennox Castle, 320.
The master, Jim Houlihan, he was probably about second or third last, and he just made up his ground. He started a run with Lennox Castle, and he's had one lunge at them on the line. Lord Zapper looked all over a winner coming to the last hurdle, but Adrian Garraway, who of course won the big one back in the winter, the Grand National at Flemington. He's certainly in great form over the jumps, Adrian Garraway, one of our best. Number 2, Clinkerbell, and in Victoria is going to pay $2.120. $2.120. Number 11 gets second, that is Lord Zapper, to return about $3.30, and number 9 has got third, and that is Lennox Castle, and it is $3.20. Well, for a New South Wales boy, that was something of an experience. I've seen my first 10 hurdles. It was quite a thrill, and a good win to Adrian Garraway aboard Clinkerbell there. He just bided his time. He made up his ground slowly but surely, and the ride won the day. Adrian Garraway aboard Clinkerbell. As they come back to scale, it is 2:11 and 9, 2:11 and 9, and the totes are now up.
And in New South
Donegan with his call of race 4 Bendigo.
For the running of the first division of the Hilton on the Park Class 2 handicap. Cavalry Lad comes up, and they're all set. Attendant climbing in towards the outside. Starter on the platform, comes around to the front. Ready to go, the lights on. All set. Line good. They're racing. And a little bit slow to begin. Apparel Lad and Tatanique dropped to the tail soon after the start. Garden of Eve came out running and quickly went to the front and settled a length and a half clear of Fire Addict, going quickly in the early stages of the race. Cavalry Ladders also going across from the outside, and Super Finish was settling just behind the leaders. They were followed by Play the Game, and back behind those horses then came Red Crisis, Discrepancy, the rail from Mr. Smith, the length then to Guinness Affair. Copernicus has got well back, followed by Malacca. Then Flying Leap back towards the tail of the field was Chevelle Surprise, Tatanique well back. And last of all is Apparel Ladders. They run down near the turn with 650 to go. Play the Game took over, led by a length to Cavalry Lad. In third placing is Lionville Princess, and they were followed by Fire Addict. Behind those horses came Garden of Eve, and then Super Finish. Red Crisis taken out 3 deep. Guinness Affair between horses. Discrepancy looking for the way up on the inside, and Copernicus and Lionville Princess getting inside runs. They're in the straight of the 300-metre mark, and Play the Game out in the centre, about to be tackled by Copernicus, and getting through along the inside is Garden of Eve, and Guinness Affair is joining in quickly at the 200. Guinness Affair has taken the lead from Garden of Eve. Copernicus the rail. Malacca's getting home from late on the outside. It's Guinness Affair in front. Copernicus on the outside is getting to it on the inside. Guinness Affair holds on to win by a half length. Copernicus. Malacca got third, then Discrepancy. Further back was Garden of Eve. Red Crisis. Well back in the field came Apparel Ladders. They go behind the stands now. Mr. Smith was well back in the field. Also a long way back in the race, Cavalry Lad. And just waiting for them to come back into view over there by the 1800. Discrepancy a fair way back from Apparel Lad, Mr. Smith, Red Crisis, Fire Addict, Flying Leap. Well back Lineville Princess pulling up quickly with Play the Game. Then Chevelle Surprise, and one of the last was Tatanique.
Number 6, Guinness Affair, $5.20 and $2.10. 5, Copernicus, $3.20. 8, Malacca, $1.90.
On the Super Tab, number 6, Guinness Affair to pay $5.80 and $2.20. Number 5, Copernicus to return $3.10. And number 8, Malacca, $1.80.
Getting through along the inside, number 5, Copernicus, ridden by Rod Griffiths, was second. And third placing has gone to number 8, Malacca, ridden by David Taggart, the numbers 6, 5 and 8. And the time for the journey, 1:16.6. Officially fourth, number 11, Discrepancy. And officially fifth was number 2, and that was Garden of Eve. Well, that winner was ridden patiently in the middle of the field, and when they found there are quite a few chances at about the 300-metre mark, but he got a beautiful run through the middle. In fact, those horses that came through nearer the inside were the ones who were making ground quickly. Copernicus got right up along the rail, and it was Guinness Affair and Copernicus settling down to fight it out over the closing stages. Malacca's come from a long way back to finish in third placing. In fourth spot, Discrepancy also ran on from the tail of the field, and Garden of Eve, which looked one of the winners at the, or one of the winning chances at the 200-metre mark, has finished in fifth placing. 1:16.6. Number 6, Guinness Affair, the winner. Guinness Affair is by Last Tycoon out of Decanka. Is raced by AJ, C, Miss J, AH, Miss O and Mrs. Sheila Hood, trained by Gerald Ryan at Flemington and ridden by Peter Nucky. Second placing, Copernicus, Rod Griffiths, and third was number 8, and that was Malacca, ridden by David Taggart, 1:16.6 the time. Margins there, 3/4 of a length the winning margin, 3/4 between second and third. 3/4 by 3/4, 1:16.6. And, well, coming back to race calling today, I just realised what a job these blokes have got 5 days a week. There you go. Anyway, it was good fun to be back, and it's great to be a part of this racing day, and we'd like to thank Brendan Dreschler and everyone associated with Bendigo for bringing the boys back. I know they all appreciate the opportunity of calling a race, but I can tell you I'm quite pleased that my opportunity is over. There you have it, 6, 5 and 8 after the running of the fourth event, Brian.
Yeah, just before you go, Pete, well done. We couldn't hear much of you on the PA over the last 300, but my reports say you're spot on.
Oh, we managed to spit them out, but I tell you what, seeing 16 of them for the first time, I think I was still learning them in the run.
You were right, Pete. Good to have you with us too, mate.
Thanks, Brian. Good to be here. You've got the details on the fourth event. We'll send the correct weight and dividends down the line.
OK, here are the totes in New South Wales on race 4.
Most of them are ready. Crowbow looks to be right. Flying Loom goes in, so they're all locked away. All set to run, race number 5, 1,000 metres. Starter goes to his platform, the light is on, the gates crash back and they're racing.
Kingston Calling was one of the best to begin towards the inside, with Hot Sunday showing good speed. Wider out on the track was Harmonic Peak going forward, so too was Eildon in the early part. Flying Looms getting back in the field, so too was Trader Joe, but at least it was able to push up on the inside. Clobo was about midfield, and then came Dancer's Edition, and Super Express has dropped out to the tail with efficiency, driving through to the 500 metres mark, and Kingston Calling was able to get up on the inside and lead here from Blonde Mura. My Echo just behind them. Harmonic Peak was wide out, then Hot Sunday into about 5th. Savages was behind it, and then came Claybo taken wide from Trader Joe, and then Efficiency. Dancer's Edition, Eildon wide out, Flying Loom back to near last, and then Super Express. Kingston Calling looks to be travelling at the 300. By a length and a quarter, Blonde Mura under the whip, and then Savages running on strongly. Kingston Calling in front. Now Michael Clark asked for a little bit of something. It's a length and a half to Savages, and then Hot Sunday, Trader Joe and Clobo. But Kingston Calling's going too well for them, and Kingston Calling draws away. He's down on the post. Wins 2 lengths to Savages, Trader Joe, and then Hot Sunday. Super Express, Clobo, Dancer's Edition. Well back, Flying Loom, Eildon, Harmonic Peak, Efficiency, and back towards the tail end of the field would have been My Echo after showing a little bit of speed with Blonde Mura.
6 and 8 for the extra double, $13.80. Number 8, Kingston Calling, $2.10, $1.30. 1 Savages, $1.70, and 9 Trader Joe, $8.50.
8 Kingston Calling, 2 even, $1.30. 1 Savages, $1.50. 9 Trader Joe, $5.70.
Kingston Calling, Michael Clark, the winner of this 3-year-old colt by Phone Trick from Mabel, raced by David and Helen Haynes, trained by Lee Friedman, and Michael Clark, the winning rider. Now, second placing to Savages number 1, which has battled on pretty well, was under the stick as they turned for home, but was the only horse that looked capable of making a race of it with the favourite. He's battled on pretty well. Savages number 1, ridden by Elf Matthews, and it will be second. The time was 56.8 seconds. And third placing to number 9, which was Trader Joe, another who was a little bit tardy to begin from its inside barrier, pushed through because of that advantage of racing on the inside, and made up quite a few lengths along the rails, but beaten comfortably into third placing. 8, 1 and 9 are official. The time 56.8 is only 0.4 of a second outside the track record, which is jointly held by Telemon and Zale. 8, 1, 9, fourth number 10 Hot Sunday, fifth in was number 4 Super Express, and the time 56.8 seconds. Got a few.
This is 103.9 Triple S Racing.
It's gone in. Bryan ready. Ladybird Blue on the outside. They're ready to go in the Cup. The line is good. Heavily back section before they go. Ready at the top of the straight. Stand by for the jump away. Set to go. Lights on. Racing in the Cup. Over near the inside, and Double Take beat out Napier Street, and Toil began well out in the middle, and Fitrian away well. Out further on the track now, coming over as Bryan when they settle down. Now for Paskin Misses easing back with Tall Lord, Ladybird Blue, and section back about third last. Double Take in the familiar role went up on the inside, led by a length now to Top Gallant, going up second, and third is Napier Street. A length and a half, and Fitrian fourth. Half further back of the race, Toil. Up midfield when they settle now, Bryan at the Paskin Miss pulling its way around it from Royal Snack, who eases back. Section a little wide from Indirage. Water Snow over on the inside as they sweep out of the straight. Gossips has got back to third last as they go out with about 1950 to go, and Double Take in front. Slows them up in front in the Cup. Double Take out by a length and a half at the Paskin Miss has pulled its way up second. A length and a half to 2 further back is Top Gallant. Napier Street a half away fourth, 2 further back, and Fitrian running fifth. And the pace is a little generous now at the 1500. Further back is Toil, followed by Bryan midfield, one off the rail. Then Water Snow outside its section, 1 further back in the race is Gossips. Outside it, Royal Snack, followed by Indirage. Then Tall Lord and Ladybird Blue as last of all. Down the back in the Cup now, they race towards the 1300 metre mark, and Double Take left alone out by 2.5 to 3 in front. From at the Paskin Miss, a length and a half, then to Top Gallant. A length further back is Napier Street fourth, 1 further back in the race, Amphitryon fifth. Then over on the inside, running sixth is Toil. Bryan on the outside of it. Indirage is going 4 wide around section. Further back is Water Snow over on the inside of Royal Snack. Then Tall Lord out 3 deep, a length further back. Gossips back to second last, and 2 to Ladybird Blue. Running to the 900 metre mark, Double Take in front. Urged along a length and a half in front now from Indirage, is swept around the outside, goes up second. In the middle there is Top Gallant third, ahead away. Over on the inside at the Paskin Miss fourth, ridden along 2 to Amphitryon, Napier Street. Then Bryan from Toil. Further back in the race then is section from Water Snow. Tall Lord taken out wide, well back as Royal Snack, Ladybird Blue, and Gossips is last of all in the Cup on the turn and hard ridden. Around the turn and double take, straightened up a length and a half at the Paskin Miss. They're followed by Napier Street, wide around Amphitryon, and here's Bryan coming down the centre at the 300-metre mark, and Bryan out wide is ranging up now to at the Paskin Miss and double take. Amphitryon going with them from Toil, Ladybird Blue and Section. Bryan moving up to double take with 100 to go. Bryan and double take come away to fight the Cup out. Double take ahead in front of Bryan and Toil. Double take fights back, wins the Cup, and next to Bryan. Toil may have grabbed third from Napier Street, Ladybird Blue, Royal Snack, Amphitryon and Section. Further back in the race then came at the Paskin Miss. Most of the others are swinging out of view. Top Gallant has pulled up pretty quickly. It's well back in the race. They're followed by Water Snow. Behind those is Gossips, never came into it. Indy Raj dropped off from the home turn. Top Gallant, one of the last to pull up in company with Royal Snack.
2 double take, 620, 250. Number 13, Bryan, 270. And number 3, Toil, 340.
2 double take, Super Tab, 920, 310. Number 13, Bryan to return 280. And 3 Toil, 360.
Tackled quickly by Bryan, and number 2 goes in the frame. Number 2, number 13 a second. Number 13, and that's Bryan, who loomed up. Looked ominous there with 150 to go, and number 3, Toil has grabbed third ahead of Napier Street. After the Cup today, it's a game performance. They're in stride over the last 150 with double take. Staving the challenge of Bryan, Toil to third from Napier Street and Amphitryon after the Bendigo Cup for 95. Number 2. Well, he looked the only leader in the race, and he was able to get away with it as he did a Werribee double take. Showed great heart. Bryan, the mare, emerged from the pack. She only had 50 kilos, getting 7 off the winner. She looked a real threat down inside the 200. They got into stride, and he was finding just as much as the mare. Double take. In fact, Connections hadn't paid up for him till fairly late in the day, and we were putting calls over to get the Connections down to pay up for the horse. Might have been touch and go as to whether he was going to get into the race. He hadn't been paid up for, but they made the late charge, and they've got the goods now. With double take, winner of the Werribee Cup, obviously not comfortable in the Cup, but Flemington, the big one, the 2 mile of the Melbourne Cup, and back down a notch today. Got the front. Bryan ridden closer, midfield, went off the fence, loomed, looked a chance. And Toil, he's an amazing horse, Toil. Not much he hasn't been around in Toil. Father Westinghouse washing machine, I'd say, and he's battled on well into third ahead of Napier Street, number 11, and Amphitryon. Gossips in the market, under the whip on the turn. Been up for a long time, Gossips. Spent force a long way out. And Section, put a hatful on Section today here. This big crowd. They wanted to back him right in Section. He probably finished up running near enough to equal favourite with Gossips. He got back Section, loomed as some sort of threat at about the 300. But this winner had kicked, and he just found that half length to a neck. And he staved the challenge of the second horse. Okay, it's a neck by 1 3/4. A neck by a length and 3/4, 228.3. A neck by 1 3/4, 228.3.
And here are the dividends. 2 double take, J Didham, 620, 250. 13 Bryan, 270, and 3 Toil, 340. Number 2, 620, 250. Number 13, 270. Number 3, 340. Quinella, 33.90, 33.90. Exacta, 61.90, 61.90. Trifecta 2, 13 and 3, 635.50, 635.50. Now to John for an update.
Because of the state of the going, but punters have backed him well here, and he'll run the favourite. Other good chances are Go Chase, Garfield, and money for Platonic Express at bigger odds. They're lining in well. Buckland Prince comes in. It's drawn the outside. Mondor to move up into the stalls. Irish Peak standing well down on the inside. Super Jackson, the one who's been holding things up a little. He'd wandered to the top of the 1600, about to come up and complete the line. Irish Peak standing well. Mountain Delight stands up nicely at the 1300. And hearty congratulations really to the Bendigo Jockey Club. They've turned on a wonderful 2-day carnival here. Garfield makes a good line. Father the clear favourite. Number 2, he's resuming from a spell. Probably should have just about won his very first race start at Flemington. Now Super Jackson comes up on the inside, and the field is locked away. Started to the top of the platform now at the 1300, about to send them on their journey. Father Alf Matthews, the top pick. Light flashes. Set. And away they go now. Super Jackson, one of the first out. Platonic Express missed it slightly and settles towards the end, and farther away very quickly is going out in the early part with the Governor and Count Grasmere cutting them all off now. Count Grasmere went to the lead over Father and Governor. Buckland Prince is rushing up into fourth placing. 2 lengths further back is Ledgerwood, and they're followed by Garfield, Kalani Mac. Wonder Mondor being followed by Live Echo, and then Platonic Express back behind it. Then came Irish Peak, and then came Mountain Delight on the outside. Go Chase is second to last, and 2 lengths to Super Jackson. At the 700, Count Grasmere the leader. Buckland Prince a length away second. Father third, the outside of the Governor. About 2 lengths to Ledgerwood. Fifth coming around the home turn. A couple of lengths to Garfield. Then Kalani Mac followed by Mondor on the inside of Live Echo. And then Platonic Express taken to the outside, followed by Irish Peak. At the turn they race at the 400 now. And Count Grasmere first into the straight from Buckland Prince. Father under pressure. The Governor looking for a way clear on the inside, and then Ledgerwood. Go Chase getting up on the inside, and Garfield. Count Grasmere in front. The Governor trying to get it. Buckland Prince on the outside, and now Father starts to wind up. Father races to the lead. Garfield coming after it. Father in front of Garfield on the outside. It's Father in front. He's holding Garfield at bay. Father's finding plenty. Father wanted a neck to Garfield. Flashing home third, Irish Peak, then Mondor, Ledgerwood, Kalani Mac, Go Chase. Mountain Delight followed further back in the field by the Governor. Count Grasmere towards the end. Super Jackson last over the line. And the other 2 or 3 disappear from view as they go in behind the stands. Coming back into view, Live Echo was well back there, and also Platonic Express, one of the last.
Number 2, Father, 260, 160, 3 Garfield, 190, 12 Irish Peak, 490.
2 Father to return 260, 160. Number 3 Garfield at 180, and number 12 Irish Peak, 480.
16.8, they've run good time all day. It's held Garfield at bay, Fabian Oleski second, and coming home strongly into third place was Irish Peak, ridden by Craig Dinn. 2, 3, 12 are the numbers. In the frame they go now, 2, 3 and 12. Father the winner by Sir Tristram from Larking. Favourites have had a good run here today. Raced by the Indian Pacific Bloodstock Syndicate, trained by David Hall, and ridden by Alf Matthews. Strong, determined finish in the last 200 once he was wound up by Alfie. He had them covered. Garfield came home very strongly. Promising young horse. He's only had 3 race starts. And the third to Irish Peak. Fourth home in the race was Mondor, number 9. And fifth was number 5, Go Chase. It's good performance there by Father to win the race. He's a lovely type, isn't he? He's obviously had some problems. He's a 4-year-old now, and he's only raced 5 times. And from the very first time I saw him at Flemington, he looked like he was going to win a race. It's taken him some time to put it together, but some patience through the training efforts of David Hall and the connections, and those punters that had watched him entered and scratched on many occasions and have got what they'd been waiting for here today. Garfield a good run, and the third horse making up ground, but they were astray with the money for Platonic Express. As Bryan pointed out, it was quite short in the betting ring right through. I guess the fact that it had come from Maui to run here today was the reason for the push there, but it was well back in the race. 1:16.8, 2, 3 and 12 the numbers on the 7th. Half a neck by 1 1/4. Half a neck by 1 1/4 the margins. Half a neck by 1 1/4 the time. 1:16.8.
And here are the totes.
The line inclined to rear a little bit at the moment, and Big Hug is still back behind them. Propose the Toast is standing up nicely drawn. He's drawn in close. Propose the Toast. He's well behaved. Maron Shan. I can remember him winning a race at the last Melbourne Cup Carnival. Well, not the last Melbourne Cup Carnival, the one before that. He won the Country Cup at Flemington that day. He's been struggling to find that form since then. It was presented in beautiful condition today. So if he runs up to his looks, there's a chance in a race like this. Now, the rider of Atlantic Comet has dismounted, and this horse is proving to be quite obstinate about moving into the gates. He's giving a deal of trouble over there. They're putting the hood on him now by the looks of it. Big Hug, meantime, moving around behind the stalls. Waiting on Atlantic Comet to move in. Now the attendants grouping around Atlantic Comet, and they're going to physically lift him up into the gates, and they succeed. He's been introduced to the stalls now, Atlantic Comet, so he's in. And Big Hug is the last one to go forward, so stand by for a start. The line is good. They're just about ready to go. Starter's up on the platform. He's about to walk out and pick